Well, hello. It's 4:11 in the morning, and I'm making this music blog with nods to Harchester.net weekly blog. Basically, um, it's been on there over the last week about the music topics and so on, and people have been commenting on, like, do I know about my musical knowledge and things, and I think there's been hints that I read Wikipedia and I get my facts off there and so on. Well, to be honest, I don't need Wikipedia. My music comes in my brain, and I'm going to read some facts that maybe you don't care about, or maybe people who read this might think, I didn't know that, and I do care about, and I'm going to be reading facts on music that I have in my head at the moment, some interesting ones that I would like to share with you all. And to be proving that I'm not using Wikipedia, this is what you see on my screen. As you can see, there is absolutely no way I'm looking at any internet site or anything. It's just basically my webcam program, and I would like to start with the fact that the first ever number one in the UK singles chart was Al Martino, In My Heart. The good thing about the chart is that in America it is now the official 50th anniversary of the Billboard Hot 100. It first started in 1958. Other facts on music, good ones. Marmalade, do you remember them? They sang Obla di Obla Da, and it was written by Lennon and McCartney, but they were once called Dean Ford and the Gaylord from Scotland. And another thing about Scottish music is Runrig. They are my favourite band, and they do come from Scotland, and they were the first Gaelic band to score, or the first band to have a Gaelic hit in the top 20. Yes, Gaelic song, surprisingly. Another fact about Runrig would be that in 1991 they had the fastest selling concert in the history of Scottish music, which I'm sure by now it's probably been broken because bands like Oasis or so on have probably outsold these bands when they've gone and played there, but maybe that might still be a record. But who knows? Mick Hucknall out of Simply Red used to be in a punk band called the Frantic Elevators, and they actually recorded the original version of Holding Back the Years. Not, not, yeah, I believe. And later on, Simply Red recorded it when Mick Hucknall decided to form that band, and it was more mellowy and so on. What else can I recite? Oh, Duffy. If you're into modern music, about Duffy. Her first single was actually called Rock Ferry, and is now worth in the region of £5, which people might say is not a lot, but in terms of, you know, only being released about a year ago, it's not too bad going, and I think in time it could be another future classic, or rarity in many ways, go up in price. And another big fact on music is if you're into Motown and Northern Soul, then I'm sure you would have known the record of Frank Wilson, Do I Love You. But if you don't, then there is a story about this, and basically it is the biggest Northern Soul record in the history of Northern Soul. I mean, it gets played everywhere to death. It's on KFC adverts and compilations and all kinds. But the story was Frank Wilson basically joined Motown, or wanted to join Motown, as he did, for just being a producer and songwriter for other artists like Diana Ross and the Supremes and so on. Didn't really care too much about being a singer himself, but he recorded Do I Love You, Indeed I Do, and decided that he would want all the master tapes destroyed. Well, for some reason, despite that happening, some copies got out and basically were released. And Only 2 original known copies are in existence in the world. Kenny Burrell owns one, and it is worth in the region of £15,000, making it the rarest record in the world. That is great. And to think, if you're a DJ and you're out there, as in Kenny Burrell, would you dare play your £15,000 record? He sometimes gets it out and plays it. I mean, amazing. And you might be all thinking, I've got a copy of that in my loft or somewhere, but you won't have an original copy. You'll likely have the reissue, which came out in 1979, because Motown pressed up more copies, because it was in demand, that obviously people wanted it. And that can actually still be worth in the region of £75, which isn't bad going. And then, a few years ago, Motown decided to re-release a few singles again as anniversary, and they actually did re-release for a second time Frank Wilson Do I Love You, but with the B-side as Chris Clark's version. She recorded it, but all they did was they got they got the backing track and took off Frank Wilson's voice and replaced it with Chris Clark's voice. But yeah, that's quite good. And so if you're into obviously or music and you didn't know that, then that you might be thinking, that's a very interesting story about about one piece of record worth £15,000. There is actually been a story that a third copy has been found in some shop in America by some hip hop DJ. Well, I don't think that is true, and it's a mystery to a lot of people, because some say it is and some say it ain't, but I personally don't think it's true, because that means there could be 4 and 5 and 6 coming out every now and again, which people say, I've got that, and just rubbish to me. And if you're wondering, this is actually a blog that I've done, because I did do an original Harchester.net blog a few days ago, ready to upload, but I hadn't uploaded it, so I don't know if I will do, so I've decided not to bother with that one and make this one instead. I don't care if anybody on Harchester.net hates me or thinks that I'm a prick, knob, whatever, you know, over this musical knowledge. I don't care. If you know about music, fair enough, but I know about my music. I'm reciting facts, I'm talking about music in topics, and I'm talking it in the way that I want to talk about it, you know. I'm sure some people might think, I didn't know that, you know, very interesting. I just don't see why people are thinking as if I have to be the music guru. It's not my fault I happen to know about music. If I didn't know about music, I wouldn't talk about the place. I wouldn't talk so much about the subject if I didn't know so much about it. Just like I don't talk about certain subjects like films or some of the TV shows, or I don't talk about some of the other topics like football and things like that, because I don't know a lot about it. And if I start blurting out things that I don't know, I'm gonna look a fool. So music's like something I know about, and I will generally, if I feel like it, when there are topics I've made or topics other people have made about music, I will be a part of putting my word in there, and that's always going to be the case. I just think that some people think that I'm going to be using Wikipedia to get all these bloody facts and everything. Well, you're wrong. It's all in my head. Yes, all in my head. Anyway, I'm off. Bye.